My stepdad told me at Thanksgiving dinner that I need to move out because his real son is moving back. I was carving the turkey when Victor dropped it on me, his voice cutting through the Thanksgiving chatter like he was commenting on the weather. Leslie's moving back after New Year's, so you'll need to find your own place by then. The knife slipped, and I watched a thin line of blood appear on my thumb before the pain registered. My mother, Belinda, went still across the table, her wine glass suspended halfway to her lips, and I could see her doing that mental gymnastics routine she'd perfected over the past 7 years of marriage. The mother who'd worked double shifts to raise me after my father left, trying to reconcile with the wife who'd learned that keeping Victor happy meant everyone else stayed quiet. Belinda's voice came out thin and careful as she said they should have discussed this privately, but Victor waved off her concern like it was nothing more than smoke. He reached for the cranberry sauce Elizabeth had made and explained with casual certainty that there was nothing private about it. Leslie's my daughter. She needs somewhere to land while she figures things out after the divorce. Lucian's 26 now. Time he stood on his own feet anyway. Elizabeth, Victor's sister, set down her fork with deliberate care and pointed out quietly that I paid rent and had been helping with his mother's medical bills. Victor's jaw tightened the way it always did when someone brought up facts that didn't fit his narrative. He dismissed my rent as below market value and reframed my contributions to Cassandra's care as a family obligation rather than any kind of favor. Cassandra, his mother, who'd had the stroke 2 years ago and needed round-the-clock monitoring that neither Victor nor Belinda could provide because of their work schedules. I'd rearranged my life, taken a job with flexible hours that paid less, turned the garage into a bedroom so I could be there when she needed help at 3 a.m. Leslie had visited twice in 2 years, both times for less than an hour. A family obligation. Is that what I am to you, Victor? An obligation you've tolerated long enough? Victor told me not to be dramatic, but his eyes slid away from mine, and he added that Leslie was going through a difficult time and needed her family. And Lucian isn't family? Elizabeth asked, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. He's Belinda's son, Victor said, as if that explained everything. And maybe it did. I was the evidence of my mother's life before him, the reminder that she'd existed as a complete person who'd loved someone else, made choices that didn't include him. Leslie was blood, his blood, and that made her real in a way I could never be, no matter how many years I'd lived under his roof, or how many times I'd bitten back arguments to keep peace at his dinner table. My mother reached across the table for my hand, and this time, I let her take it, because I wanted to feel if there was any strength left in her grip, any fight. She told Victor that I'd been nothing but helpful with his mother, but her eyes were on me, pleading with me to understand something I'd understood for years. She'd chosen survival over solidarity, security over her son. I squeezed her fingers once before letting go and told her it was okay, that I'd figure something out. The words felt hollow even as I said them, but what else was there to say when your own mother couldn't find the courage to choose you? It's not okay, Elizabeth said, standing up with enough force that her chair rocked backward. She launched into Victor then, reminding him that Leslie was 34 years old and on her second divorce because she kept choosing men who treated her the way Victor treated people he thought were beneath him, while I'd been here contributing and caring for Cassandra when none of them could. Victor snapped at her to stop, and I watched my mother flinch. Watched her choose again in real time. She didn't say anything. She just sat there, holding her wine glass like it might save her from having to pick a side, and her silence was louder than any words could have been. This was who she was now, who she'd maybe always been. Someone who loved me but not enough to risk her own comfort, who'd spent 7 years teaching me that I was always going to be secondary to Victor's happiness and his daughter's needs. Elizabeth told me I could stay with her until I found a place, and that Cassandra would come with us because she'd arranged for proper care. Victor's face went red as he protested that Elizabeth couldn't just take his mother, but she cut through his objection with a single devastating observation. Your mother, whom you've left in Lucian's care for 2 years while you took 3 vacations and remodeled your kitchen. Try to stop me. I looked at my mother one last time, giving her a chance to say something, to fight for me the way she used to fight with landlords and school administrators and everyone else who tried to make our lives smaller, but she just stared at her plate, and I realized the saddest thing Victor had said all night was calling me dramatic, because the real drama was how quietly she'd let him erase me from the definition of family. I pushed back from the table and headed upstairs to pack, and with each step I felt lighter, like I was finally walking away from people who'd never really chosen me at all.